Hey guys, I'm really excited. We're about to get Anne Frank started. So we're going to be reading not the book, the actual Diary of Anne Frank, because that would take months, but we're going to be reading a play, also known as a drama, that was made based on the diary. Otto Frank, who is Anne's father himself, approved of the play and said he felt like it really captured Anne's essence. So I want to go over a few things with you guys before we get this started. We're going to start the story tomorrow. So really fast, I want you guys to know the focus of what we're looking at for this unit. We are focusing still on the word courage, but we're also focusing on this idea of what impact, my video is smaller, there we go. What impact can one person have on the world, and what impact will you ultimately have on the world? We're also going to be looking at Anne Frank, and we want to know, hey, what can we learn from Anne Frank? Remember, she was a real person. And then finally, we are still looking at setting and looking at the idea of the setting that somebody grows up with or lives in basically affects their values and affects their beliefs and their motivations for characters, but also for real people. So Anne Frank, this is an actual picture of her. She lived from 1929 to 1945. She was born in Germany, but when she was only 4 years old, in 1933, Hitler had come to power and Jews were starting to be persecuted. So in an effort to keep them safe, Anne's father, who had offices in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, decided to move them there. So they went north up to the Netherlands where Jewish people could live like more freely. The Germans weren't a problem there yet. She and her family were Jewish. So they ended up having to go into hiding ultimately anyway. The Germans did make it over to the Netherlands, and Jewish people are starting to be rounded up in order to be sent to camps. Anne was one of two sisters. Her older sister, Margot, got a letter that basically said that she was going to have to go to a camp. And her father was like, you're not splitting up the family. So that was when they knew they had to pack everything and go into hiding. What was crazy was they couldn't carry any suitcases or anything with them because that would look suspicious. So all they could take was what they could fit into pockets and the clothes on their backs. They ended up wearing many, many different like layers of clothing. Eventually, they ended up going into hiding in Mr. Frank's, or Mr. Frank, in his office building. There was an entire hidden annex, or like a secret area behind his office building that they'd lived there. They actually lived there for 2 straight years, and during the day, they couldn't make any noise because the office workers would hear them. So this is a picture of Anne and Margot's room, the room they shared together. This is a picture of what they think it would have actually looked like. We actually can visit the Anne Frank house now. And this is what they think it would have looked like while they were there. And then this is a real picture of the hidden room to the entrance to the annex, not room, hidden entrance to the annex behind the swinging bookshelf. So if you want to get an idea of what this actually looked like, this is sort of like the back of like the hidden annex. It opens up into just like a shaded like woody area, some gardens, some private land. So this is the part that faced the street, and this was Otto Frank's office. And then there were like some storage spaces here. Everybody knew that this building was here, but they just assumed, you know, hey, that probably belongs to residents and is accessed from somewhere else. This is the bookshelf that would swing aside to allow them access to the annex. And these 3 floors are where they lived for 2 years without leaving. I like this because it gives you a little bit more of a detailed look. If you'd like to really like look at this and see what it looked like where they lived, you guys are welcome to pause the video. Here's the swinging bookshelf again, and here are those rooms within the secret annex. You can even see Anne and Margot's room right there. All right. So Anne kept a diary during her time in hiding. So she got it for her 13th birthday, and she kept it from the time, I think it was her 13th birthday, from the time she was 13 until she was 15, almost 16. The play is going to begin with Otto, who is Anne's father, finding her diary, which is true. That's actually what happened. So important things to know since we're about to read a drama about a drama. A drama is basically reading a play. It looks like this right here. The script is what we call, the script is the text of the play. There's a cast of characters. They're always going to be in bold, all caps, so you'll know who's talking. Stage directions and dialogue. So you guys know dialogue, right? That's where they're talking. So most of what we're going to be reading is talking by the characters. We're going to be listening to like the actual characters talking and performing the play. The stage directions are important too, because it tells you about the mood or the atmosphere or what the characters are doing or who they're talking to. So here's 2 examples of stage directions. Dussel right here was walking to Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank here was talking specifically to Mr. Crawler. And down here, Dussel, when he says this, is supposed to say it frantically. Don't fire him. Pay him what he asks. So you have to say it really like frantic. So it gives the directions to the actors to know what to do. Alrighty, friends, that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoy the play and and the story of Anne Frank. All right, bye for now.